Welcome to Incredible Tours. I'm Randy Jones.
And I'm Amanda Hayes.
Yes, and we got an amazing tour, an incredible tour.
I was just about to say that. I was about to say we have an incredible tour.
Incredible tours, and we hope that this is just the beginning of a ton of incredible tours they're going to be bringing to you in the future. Behind us is a Charleston, and it's 10 by 30. It's right here on our beautiful beach community here in Newport, Tennessee. We're going to show you the inside of this. We're going to let the homeowner give you a tour of where it came from, how did this whole idea come about, the background behind the owner, and some really cool features inside that the owner kind of tweaked our plan, and I think it's been an enhancement to what we build.
I agree. And too, you know, I'd like to have their perspective on what it's like to be in a community here, especially on the beach, and how that's worked out too, because everybody is like so drawn to this community life now.
Yeah, so buckle up, put it on, get tied down, and let's go for a tour.
This is Tim, and he is the proud homeowner of this Charleston, the 10 by 30. And we're gonna let Tim, he's very shy. You're gonna find that out during this video. So, but if you could just kind of, entertain us just a little bit and kind of tell us about the outside.
So, Incredible Tiny Homes came out with a host of about half a dozen models or so of this special LP type home. What attracted me to this home, well, a couple of things attracted me. First of all, the home's absolutely gorgeous. I had originally thought about not getting the dormers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in fact, I ordered the home without it. It was obviously less expensive.
Right.
And then one pulled into the parking lot one day from the Amish, somebody else's home. And I couldn't believe how gorgeous the home was. It actually reminded me a little bit of Cape Cod.
Yes, very the Hamptons, very all that kind of stuff.
And I called Randy and I said, Randy, I want to change my order. I want to do it with the dormer.
Yeah.
I mean, the sweeping overhangs, the tongue and groove, just the whole thing's just beautiful.
Well, and the contrast of the colors. So having a different color up on top, having the trim, having all the, what were those, corbels and everything like that. I mean, it just turns out to be beautiful. And of course, it helps so much that there's no maintenance to the outside.
That's the thing.
Super attractive.
So and this is an LP. This isn't your father's LP. This has got like a wax resin in it. It's not, I wouldn't say insect proof, but you really are not going to have a problem with this.
Right.
If you don't want to, you don't ever have to paint this. I mean, I think it comes with a 30, 40-year warranty.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to warp. It's and that's what I want. I was at a point where I didn't want. I've been taking care of houses my whole life. I just wanted something.
You don't want to do it
with low maintenance. And there was and still is today. There's about a dozen different color packages you can choose from.
Yeah.
And I just like this. Even though it's a model home, there is a lot of decisions that you can make and sort of customize it yourself. So in addition to the colors, I customized the door. So normally it wouldn't come with a full glass door. I did that just because I wanted as much light in the home as possible. I added the bay window. This particular model does not come with a bay window.
The bay window, I mean, it just adds. Look how gorgeous.
Yeah, and I'll tell you though, it even makes a bigger difference when we go inside. That's what sold me. So I would go in and look at the Birmingham and show people the Birmingham.
Right.
And the number one comment that people were always talking about when they walked into the Birmingham is how they loved the bay window. So you can add a bay window to any of the homes. And so that's what I chose to do, and that is something I don't regret at all. They don't come furnished, obviously, and the window treatments, everybody has their own preference. I got these were actually from Lowe's. They are wood. A lot of times when you see these blinds, they are actually some sort of a plastic. These are actually solid wood. They're called plantation shutters is what most people refer to them. They sort of became very popular.
Before we go inside, what about the metal roof? How has that been for you? Do you hear anything like when it's raining?
You do, and I actually really like it. Like if it's raining at night and you're in bed, it actually is like a sound machine almost. It lulls you.
It's very soothing.
It is very soothing.
So many people talk about a rain on a tin roof, you know?
Yeah, and you're not going to have the same problems. I mean, eventually, if you were to get a shingled roof, you're going to have issues with it at some point and have to replace it. And you have log cabins, I was just looking at, that are, 50, 70 years old, and they have the original roof on them. So my whole thing, again, going back to the LP and the metal roof, was one of the things that attracted me to it was the almost as little maintenance as you could possibly buy in a home. Well, we have a little guest.
Hi, Dorothy. Hi there. Oh my goodness. There's so many things that my eyes are looking at. Number one, this table that you've got is fantastic. The couch, everything. I'm just trying to soak it in right now. The wood, the leather. This is gorgeous.
So one of the things I tried to do is, I wasn't one of those people that wanted, a quote tiny home.
Yeah.
I just wanted a home that was tiny. It sounds silly.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But I wanted, and I admire people that can just live in a, an 8x14 tiny house. I wanted a living room. I wanted a full bedroom.
Right.
I wanted a place to sit and have dinner. I wanted a sofa. I wanted a wall large enough for, a TV.
Honey.
I just wanted a home, but I wanted it to be a small home.
Right.
And so when I was looking at all the different models, this checked off all the boxes.
Yes.
One of the things that Randy does when he does these designs is this large living area.
Yes.
And there's nothing that, it just checked all the boxes. There's nothing I don't have that I wanted.
What are you even missing? I mean, I know we're only looking at the living room right now. So we come in the door. He's got this beautiful door that has the blinds inside that the dust never gets on there for light. That's great.
So the blinds are in between the glass, so there's no rattling. You're not going to destroy them. I did make a few changes. The original design would have a staircase normally behind the door.
Yes.
I wasn't going to use that loft to sleep. I might have a guest occasionally, but mostly it's going to just be, storage.
Right.
So I got rid of that for a couple different reasons. First of all, I have a real entryway closet. Clothes, vacuums, shelf, all that stuff. And you don't think about it before you buy it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want a house that didn't have an entry closet
That
at
is
this point.
so attractive, because if you're not going to use the stairs, if you're not going to use the upstairs and sleep up there, this would be a wasted space right here. And to put the closet there and to put everything that you need.
I mean, I've got chairs and boots.
And umbrellas and hats, and has the jackets and everything like that right behind the door because it's a space that was not going to be used. So that's something you discussed with Randy and was able to implement that.
Yeah. And so, again, and the workmanship, like the soft clothes.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is Amish built. All of our wood stick builds are Amish built. But the real reason I did it, this was just a plus. The real reason I took the staircase out, is the only thing I wasn't crazy about, because I'm a big guy, was the bathroom. It was too small for me. It came with a 32-inch shower. I needed a 36.
So you were able to get a bigger bathroom with not having the stairs.
Let me show you what happened, what it did by doing that. It now pushes this wall back 3 feet. And by doing that, I have a huge 36-inch shower now. I mean, this bathroom is fine. Normally you would have a sink that was out to here. I mean, you could still use the toilet, but it was very tight. Now I have a regular vanity. I mean, it's beautiful. It's perfect.
Very classy.
Just very simple.
And you can see the size of the shower here, where I'm inside the shower, a 36-inch shower, big difference.
Plenty large for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's plenty of room for lighting fixtures, mirrors. Even when Randy designed it, like this refrigerator, I mean, I don't even need, how much stuff do I need, right? But it's perfect. It's a 10 cubic foot refrigerator, and it just sits an inch or two behind where the counter is. So everything about the design, I just buy the stuff, put it in. And you can do things like I changed out the light fixtures. You can make it your own.
Yeah.
A lot of people will ask about, oh, I need an oven. And one of the things I learned from my daughter was that you really don't. So
you really don't.
Instead, that is not a microwave. That's the one thing it doesn't do. But that will air fry. It's called Breville. It will air fry. It will bake. You can bake a cake in there. It will do rotisserie chickens. It'll actually accommodate 2 rotisserie chickens.
Really?
Yeah. That is like the best oven. You don't need an oven, and it uses a fraction of the energy.
How expensive was that?
It was like $200.
Yeah.
But an oven would be $1,800.
Absolutely, that's right. Well, see, I think what we do is that, one of the things that that Randy and I talked about actually last week is whenever you're going into a tiny home, you really need to change your mindset. A lot of people are coming from a traditional home and you're going into a tiny home. It's a different way of living. You cannot put everything that you had in the regular home in the tiny home. And I think it's a big mistake that people do. They do downsize some, but it's still not enough. So you have to really sit down on pen and paper, put down what is it that I actually need? What is it that I need? And then you get in there and start living. Then I would start adding things. But I would not bring everything, Mama's sewing machine and these things that you think that you can't live without. And we do get that question. We get that question a lot. I've got to have a stove. I make Thanksgiving dinner. I do Easter. You really don't. So try to think different whenever you're in a tiny home, because Tim is able to, and Tim is a cook. So
well, and also, so I want to take as long of a shower as I want to take. That's just one of my things. So I'll show you. So I got the tankless.
Yes.
The home would normally come with an electric 19-gallon.
Right. And you can upgrade.
I love it. So I got a propane tank outside, and I can take unlimited shower.
Right.
But it also allowed me to do, because of the propane, is to get a gas cooktop instead of the electric. Again, if you go to the website,
and
right, these are all things you can do. Yeah,
that's right.
It's like $50, $100.
Right. Now, I'm going to tell you something that I would not have thought that I would like, but he has actually painted the butcher block.
Yeah, this is actually a stain.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's got a little bit of gray. A lot of it was just too dark for me. You'll notice I did a lot of the trim in this sage green.
Yes. Great color.
I had plenty of natural wood, but it was a little too much. And then it matches the shelving.
Yeah.
And I got pantry and I got garbage and
what don't you have?
Yeah.
I mean, look how organized your knives and things like that. These right here are a lifesaver for a lot of people in the tiny homes, is that anything magnetic. So, having these magnetic shelves and things like that in the home is going to be such a space saver. Start thinking about, if you can't put it, on the floor or, on the surface, start thinking about your walls. And you don't want to clutter your walls, but the way Tim has this so organized and just thought out of what do I actually use, what colors, even with your dishes. He's matched his dishes to the decor.
You're giving me way too much credit.
I'm telling you, I absolutely love it, So that's really nice. You've got the neutral colors going on, and it's really nice. You got the grays, the blacks, you got the white, the little bit of a light sage green is always a little pop of color. You've hit it out of the park, honestly.
And again, you customize it. So we don't provide the handles, for example, for the cabinets.
Right.
So you can pick. Do you want something modern? Do you want more traditional? I like the black metal, so that's what I did here. I changed out the faucet, right? For something black. I just wanted it all to, but those are little things, and that's how you make it your own.
And two, it's something that you don't have to do all at once. So I think another thing that happens is when people get into a tiny home, they get very overwhelmed and they think that they have to have everything done all at once. Take your time, move into the house, have it minimal when you move in, and then add to it from there. If you do have to, a lot of the people that are here in the community, they get a storage unit. So what you absolutely, once you've pared down, these are the things I cannot live without, put them in a storage unit, and then start taking things out. You will realize, right? So what you can and can't live without, the things that you will part with and the things that you absolutely have to have in your life. So.
But it is well thought out in the design. One of the things I was concerned about was that there was no heating and air conditioning. That
is a
you'll
concern.
notice this is up front. But also the loft's open, right? There's no wall there.
Right.
It is no problem. I
So
love
there's
it.
not any issues. You don't have to add a fan
Now,
to
if you were
push
going
the
back
air.
to like 35 feet and you were putting in a closed bedroom with a closed door, like the Birmingham, then yes, and it comes with that. But this was just no problem at all. So this is the bedroom.
Great fridge too, by the way.
So,
oh wow,
small, but I don't need a dresser. I don't need a bureau.
This
Again,
is
you have to know
so
yourself. This is a queen bed in a tiny house.
Very
bedroom.
nice.
Okay, so this is not a full bed. Double closet. Okay, but changing that thing, the bathroom where I took out the staircase, also gave me more room in here. This is residential LG stackable washer dryer.
Yeah.
So this is as big as anything you'd buy for your house. And you can throw a comforter in there. There's nothing lacking in this tiny house.
And look, I just want to show that I am on the other side. This is not pushed all the way up against the wall.
Because you want to be able to make your bed.
You want to be able to make your bed. There's nothing more frustrating when you can't put a sheet on the corner and stuff and you're crawling around. Also, I want to just show, this is all through the home, and we had talked about it outside, but these are the shutters that Tim were talking about, and they are wood, correct?
Yeah, solid wood.
Oh my goodness, what a difference it made on there, and especially with the heat coming in, with the sun coming in. I mean, this just...
Yeah, and I close the bottom if you want privacy.
How expensive? I know they're costly, but this is something...
They were about $170 a window.
Okay.
But if you did custom blinds, you're going to spend not quite that much.
Exactly.
But it's lifetime warranty.
Right.
And I didn't have a million.
And they're made out of
windows.
wood, and you just take your time, do one window at a time if you have to.
You never
right?
have to paint them. Don't have to do anything.
So because you chose the closet in the entryway, as soon as you come in, you got a bigger bathroom, bigger shower, and you got a full. I mean.
The shower was key.
The trade-off is unbelievable.
Yeah, it was, because I would never go up there other than to get maybe some seasonal clothes.
That is great.
Something.
And two, up top here, so where you single, living alone up here, you've got all of the extra storage, whatever you need. Now, how do you get access anything up there?
Very simple. Everything has a place, right?
Right.
So all this is 2 inches wide, Costco ladder.
Perfect.
If I need to get something, boom. And I don't.
Safe
and I keep it within reach, so I don't have
Correct.
anything in the center of the loft.
Right.
And I really don't go up there very often.
No, I mean, these are things that are like, extended storage for, things for long time storage, and anything that you need on the, like traveling. I can already see that you have a bag there. You're going to be able to grab that and fill it up. This is beautiful.
So this double hung closet.
Oh my goodness, that is
shelf for
really
books,
beautiful.
a hamper. This, by the way, is where the tankless water heater is.
Really?
When you go,
could you open that door? Let's open both.
So when you go, that regular electric water heater is quite large. That's only maybe 7 inches in depth, and I actually have shelves in front of it that pop out. So if you needed to service it, you could.
There's no way. How tall are you? 6 what?
6'2".
6'2". You would have never, ever in your lifetime thought you'd be in a tiny home, correct?
Amanda, these are, I think, 9.5 foot
Look,
ceiling.
I mean, look at you reaching up there.
I
mean, it's not even an issue.
I had a friend ask me, can you live in a tiny house with, 2 beds? I said, I can
It's
only
your
be in one.
perception.
I can only be in one bedroom at a time. But yeah, there's just not. It doesn't work for everybody. But
No.
for me, I don't feel like I traded off and lost anything.
Well, one of the other things too, and I want to head into the living room. I want to show your little, I'm not sure if we showed exactly how your dining room is. And that is important, to have your own little space to eat and to sit there and have a conversation with somebody. So if you have company over and you get to have dinner, fix some dinner.
Yeah.
So you sit down. Wow.
And aren't they comfortable?
These are so, where did you get this?
Do you know Josh, who works for us, made this? This looks like,
Stop.
You probably can't tell on film, but this looks like black paint or black stain.
It does.
This is actually torched.
It's not.
This is burnt.
No, it's not.
This is a leftover piece of countertop.
A butcher block.
A butcher block. Josh cut it. I think Daniel actually cut it, and Josh torched this.
So did you already have the base?
I bought the base.
Bought the base.
Yep.
Okay, now see, that's smart because, you know, I go to these antique stores and I see all these little things
That's what
all the
that
time.
is. That's
Yeah.
like a very old
Where
base.
did you get the chairs? Because in a tiny home, you got to think about, like, you know, at my house, you know, I have a traditional regular house. I have chairs that aren't comfortable. I have certain things. You have to know this couch, it's the only couch you got in here, right? Needs to be comfortable. Chairs, it needs to be comfortable. So you need to have things that you absolutely love in the tiny home. So when you have somebody who's here sitting here with me, and so we're sitting here having dinner, we can sit here and talk a little bit.
We could
and
even
just
have a cocktail if we
have
wanted.
have a cocktail. That we,
Isn't it comfortable though?
these chairs are fantastic.
Yeah.
I love them. The wine to display that's something that's important to
So
you.
this is actually this is pieces of a wine barrel.
Really?
Yeah, and you can see that the fold and so they took two pieces and they put together and they made a wine rack.
You know, this house, I'm not even telling you, this I could see a home like this, a tiny home, been in an architectural magazine.
I don't
the
know
way
about
that you
that,
have it.
but-
Listen, I love this. I don't know where you got it, but I'm
Yeah.
in love with this. So he sits over here, Randy, and he has all of his, whatever you have in there. You got a
Little bar.
a tiny little bar.
I got a sound bar.
That is so
Okay.
great. And then you have the TV right there.
I think it's 48-inch TV. It's plenty big.
Ah.
Everything fits really well.
This is fantastic. This is so beautiful. And, you know, so many people, it's probably a big, like a phrase or a buzzword is one level living. And that's what this is. This is one level living.
Yeah.
And it is especially for people who are like, you know, 45 and older. Everybody's thinking about, like, do I really want to climb stairs? You know, and two, you know, in the other homes, having the stairs for extra, if it's grandkids or you know, if your daughters were to come visit, things like that. But you got to think, how often do they do that? You know, all of us as parents, you know, we have to go and visit, right?
Yeah, I mean,
the kids don't have the time to come. So you taking that chance to say, you know what? I think what I'm going to do, I have to do what is best for my
right.
daily living, right?
Yeah. I once lived in a 5,400 square foot home.
I was going to bring that up.
I didn't want, I wanted less work,
Yeah.
a simpler way to live.
Yeah.
You make some trade-offs, but I don't miss any of it.
The trade-offs that you did made a huge difference in your life, your daily living life.
Before I moved here, I was living in a little town called Dunedin, Florida.
Okay.
Outside of Clearwater. Mm-hmm. I had a little house. It was cute. It was nice. Something was always breaking.
Yes.
Okay? It was a lot of work. Mm-hmm. I remember sitting down once with a pad and a piece of paper trying to figure out, okay, how old will I be when I pay this house off?
Yes. Exhausting.
Okay? It came up, it was 90. And I thought, oh, no, that can't be right.
can't.
Okay?
Hi, baby.
All I did was go to work for 10 hours a day to support a structure.
Yes.
Okay?
Like so many people.
Now, if it was paid off, that would be different, but it wasn't. Made some mistakes, like a lot of us. And
Absolutely.
all I did was work for an object, a house.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really get to enjoy it that much. Things were always bright. It was very expensive. Property taxes were going up.
Yes.
Every year in Florida.
Very expensive.
I was in a homeowners association, going up every year. Mm-hmm. Insurance on the house, flood. Mm-hmm. Everything just kept going up, and all I did was work. I sold that house, which I only owned for about 18 months.
Yeah.
And I doubled.
Yes.
I sold it for double what I paid for it.
You have an amazing
Okay.
story. I mean, it's just so great.
Now, that was
you
not
did
a lot
this.
of money, by the way. When I say I
Correct.
doubled it, almost all of it went back at the closing table.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I had profit now
Yeah.
that I wouldn't have had otherwise, so I
Right.
was grateful I bought that house.
And you were out of debt.
Yeah, and I called up the phone. Actually, Randy answered the phone.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm coming. I'm going to buy your house.
That had to be a shock.
Yeah.
Didn't
And
it?
he was like, what house? I
That
said,
the owner of the company
Charleston."
answered?
Yeah. And I came down, and people said, oh, I got to go look at the community. Oh, I've got to go look at the house. I get it. Some people are more visual. You guys did a video on it. He did all the dimensions on a whiteboard. I had been watching you for a while.
What made you, I mean, to think about to come to
I
from
wanted
Florida
to change.
to
I wanted
Tennessee.
to. I didn't
New
care.
change.
I didn't care.
Didn't care.
I got on a plane,
Yeah.
went to the Knoxville airport, got a rental car, drove, walked into the office, and wrote you a check.
He did.
And said, here it is.
And we went to Ruby Tuesdays at night.
And we went to Ruby Tuesdays.
Me, Randy, and Tim went to Ruby Tuesdays at night and ate.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim signed the check and wrote the check and it was done.
But here's how it's changed. I actually really like my tiny house.
Yes.
It is completely paid for.
Yes.
The only home I ever owned that's paid for. Okay?
That's amazing.
And you pay $200 a month. There's nowhere in the United States that even if I could find $200 a month, that you would want to live in a place that charges you $200 a month.
And Tim, you were originally from?
Well, all over Virgin Islands.
I mean, we're talking. Tim is well-rounded. He knows the whole, income levels and what's out there and prices. And when he came here, he's like, "You're kidding. You're just like, you're kidding me."
No, and it has changed my life. Because now I don't worry about money.
No.
Oh, if I want to have to hop on a plane, I'm not like, okay, let's see,
yes.
I got to put a little bit aside each, how am I going to do this?
Yep.
I'm not by any chance, I don't have a lot of money, but this burden, you don't even realize it subconsciously, worrying about money.
Yes.
Okay?
And when you take that out of the equation, you're like,
now you can
wow.
I sleep better.
Yeah.
My whole life is so much simpler.
Yes.
Okay?
And do you mind telling how old you are?
I am
29.
29. I'm over 60.
Yeah, over 60.
Leave it at that.
There you go, over 60.
And I couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
I actually love East Tennessee. I love, it has 4 real seasons here.
It really does.
So you have a long, real fall. You have a long, real spring.
Yes.
The winter, I think it snowed twice last year where it's stuck.
Yeah.
And by 2 p.m, it was melted.
It was gone. Yeah.
People worry about, the snow, you're up in the mountains.
No.
No. Okay?
Unless you're living in the mountains, you're never going to contend with that.
But it changed my life. I told Randy on numerous occasions.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to get choked up.
I know.
I don't know what I would have done otherwise. And I can't tell you how happy I am and how many issues this provided that made my life better.
Well, you're going to make me cry. My goodness, you're tearing up. I'm tearing up.
Yeah.
We should have alcohol.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
And yeah, I just couldn't be happier.
And your story is like so many, it's not verbatim, of course, but we're talking with his age group and people trying to figure out what are they going to do financially to have financial freedom, true financial freedom.
Well, and I'm kind of private. Okay?
Yes. So what's that like being in a community?
Well, it's really good. And I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So last week I had to go out of town.
Yes.
For 2 days. Nice gentleman right over here, a couple doors down. Oh, I'd be happy to walk your dog.
Yep.
Okay.
Little Dorothy.
You have a support system. I can tell you, I was talking to a woman the other day. She needed a pharmacy pickup.
Yes.
Somebody who lives next to her is going to go pick up the pharmacy.
That's right.
You do need, it's good socially, it's good mentally for you, but it is also important as you get older to have someone that's looking out for you.
That's right. And I think that's what a lot of people, especially like with people's kids, they don't want to try to take that burden off of your children to worry about your parents and stuff. Back whenever we were younger, the only option for people getting older was to go to the nursing home.
Right.
People cannot afford to go to a nursing home, number one. Number two, they're not ready for the nursing home. I have that personal experience with my grandmother. The woman was not ready for a nursing home, but she couldn't stay at home by herself. There was no other options at this time. Randy's mom came here. Everybody jumped in and helped with her, and that was life-changing for Randy and life-changing for his mom. My grandmother, it would have extended her life to be here. The people that I personally know, still talk to here in the community, that were alone, all they had was maybe their dogs. I've always talked about Gloria, and Gloria was in her apartment. The only person that she would even speak to was her landlord, and that was to pay the rent once a month. And now she has a home that's paid for, just like with you, and they have that financial freedom, more friends than you can think of, so many people willing to help. And I want to make the point, too, where you are private, you get to be private when you want to be private. People do not aggravate and force that on you.
No, and you'd be surprised. We have a lot of people, I didn't realize, 70s. You have some people in their
Yes.
80s. And I think it makes them feel I think there's a sense of self-worth that they feel
Yes.
more independent.
Yes.
They have their own house.
That's
It's
right.
a tiny house, but it's their house.
Yes.
And so I think that.
And
also
too,
is
you
great.
know, another thing that we like to do too is that we're trying to ramp up community stuff. So, you know, we just started a game, which is a fun game, Singo, on Friday nights. For the people, it's free of charge to come there and to have a good time and to meet other people if you want to. We also let people volunteer. So there is things to do around here like crazy. Some people are bored and said, you know what? Do you need any help with anything? Do you need your dog walked? Do you need me to watch your dog while you go out of town and stuff? And people are finding, there's relationships here. People are dating. People have gotten married. There are best friends. There are lifelong relationships now within these communities. And the people want so much to be in a community like this. And the $200 a month, yeah, that draws you in. But you're going to find out that there's so much more available that you never would have thought.
So who's dating?
Well, now that will be in another episode. So
No, I know. I'm telling you, it doesn't get any better.
this, I'm telling you what, this is such a treat, and to get to see Tim's home and how he has transformed it. And I absolutely love the wood shutters. It makes such a difference. And even though if you can't afford it at the time, budget out, take your time.
I didn't get them right away.
He didn't get them right away. There's a lot of things to think of. All the greenery. Oh my gosh. I mean, this, you have really done it right. This is absolutely stunning. Thank you so much for letting us come in here today.
You are more than welcome.
I've been trying to get over here forever. I mean, listen, how long have you been in the house? A year?
No. In this house, yeah, a little over a year.
A little over a year.
I was here, I did a rental when I
Has
first
it been
moved
2
here.
years?
Yeah, 2 years.
Time flies. Guys, we need to be thinking about what we're doing with the rest of our lives. Think about how you really want to spend your time. I could just tell you're just so happy here.
Yeah.
And little Dorothy. How long have you had Dorothy?
Dorothy was a rescue. I've had Dorothy
I love
about 4 years. I brought her with me. It's good she fit.
Beautiful. And everybody has a dog here.
Yeah, and
so.
everybody has a dog.
Yeah, so if you go tiny, you have to have a dog. So.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
All right, we love it. Thank you, guys. Be sure to like this video, share this video. Be sure and get on our website and look at all the models. This is the Amish-built, one-level living tiny home, and it is custom to Tim's needs, and it can be custom to your needs as well.